Hey y'all, it's Amanda, and we're out in the front yard. I bet y'all forgot I even had a front yard because we've been spending all of our time out in the back. I have a beautiful front garden and side garden, and today we're going to be potting up some shade loving containers up on that right side of the porch. You're also going to be able to see this beautiful wicker love seat that I purchased, and we're going to be doing some work on that today. But I am excited to be out here and to get planting and to start getting the front porch ready for the spring. Now, I started with some plants that I picked up from Lowe's, and when I am trying to figure out a collection of pots like what you see here, I like to go ahead and pre-place all of the plants so I have a really good idea of what it's going to look like when I'm done. And I stand back and I look at it and then I work from there. Now, one of the big things to remember about containers is that you basically have to resuscitate your soil every year. Because of the way water drains through soil in containers, it just pulls all the nutrients and minerals out the bottom of the pot. So it's really important that you add something back. I usually use fertilizer, but this year I have been shifting to adding compost to my containers. I don't know why, it just feels like the better option for me. It feels like more long term nutrients instead of a quick pick me up like fertilizers can be. Now, my porch decor for the spring into the summer is going to be in shades of pink and blue, and so I really like to have a bright pop of color, and working with these pink dragon wing begonias I thought would be perfect. They have a lot of movement to them, and I think they'll be lovely in these containers. Pink dragonwing begonias have glossy green leaves and cascading pink blooms that flower nonstop. They grow 12 to 18 inches tall and wide and thrive in part shade to sun with moist, well draining soil. Hardy in zones 10 through 11, they're excellent for containers and garden beds. Okay, moving on. In this container, I had a plumosa fern last year and it did not survive the winter, which I'm disappointed because it is a lovely fern. But I'm going to go ahead and clean this out. Now, I am going to add some more ferns back in. Specifically, we're going to be working with asparagus fern. And I bought this hanging basket with the intention of splitting it up because when I got down to the base of the plants, I realized that there were three separate plants in this hanging basket. And instead of going and buying three separate plants, I thought I'll just pull this out and I'll separate it. Super simple and easy, and a really great way to really fill in your pots and make the most out of your money. Now, about a month ago, I started several caladiums and begonias from bulbs and tubers. I started them inside, and this is one of them. It's called Florida Elise, and I love that it's pink. Absolutely gorgeous. And I like to start mine inside so that I can get a jump on them. Asparagus fern features soft, feathery green foliage that adds light, airy texture. It grows 12 to 24 inches tall, larger if trailing, and prefers part shade with consistent moisture. Hardy in zones 9 through 11, it's great for containers or indoor use. Florida Elise Caladium has bright pink centers with green margins on heart-shaped leaves for a bold tropical look. It grows 15 to 20 inches tall and thrives in shade with moist, well-draining soil. Hardy in zones 9 through 11, often grown as an annual elsewhere. Now, to go ahead and add in the pop of blue, you're going to see this little mushroom sculpture that I picked up from Home Goods back in, I think, January, actually. And it has a blue and white china pattern on it that I love and that I will be including in other aspects of the porch. But I'm utilizing this as a focal point among these containers. And so I put it in there, and then I'm going to work additional plants around its base. Now I did add a white Christmas fern in front of the mushroom sculpture, and I started that indoors as well. And then right now I'm adding Odorata Pink Delight begonias. These are tuberous begonias, and I started those all inside as well. Those all started from tuber, not seed, because starting begonias, tuberous begonias from seed is super hard. But I'm going to put those in, and they have a bold, beautiful pink color. And then I am making sure I tuck in some additional caladiums, specifically the white Christmas ones. And you can see that now I'm starting to repeat several different varieties of the plants throughout each of the pots so that everything ties in together. White Christmas Caladium features striking white leaves with green veining that brightens shady areas. It grows 18 to 24 inches tall and prefers part to full shade with rich, moist soil. Hardy in zones 9 through 11. Odorata Pink Delight Begonias produces fragrant, soft pink double blooms on lush green foliage. It grows 12 to 18 inches tall and thrives in shade to part shade with well-draining soil. Hardy in zones 9 through 11, perfect for containers and shaded beds. All right, I'm going to save the final reveal on those containers for when the front porch is done. But part of the front porch this year is adding in this wicker love seat. In the past, I've had a bistro table, which I loved, and I actually found on the side of the road and was great. But it's not very comfortable to sit at for very long at all. And I really wanted something that I could curl up on. Curl up and read a book, curl up and work in my garden journal, curl up and wait for my kiddos to come home. And so I found this guy on Facebook Marketplace for $100. So really happy with the condition, and the woven detail on it is stunning. Now I knew that I was going to be spraying this with stain, so I went ahead and moved the car back out of the way because I was afraid that I was going to get stain all over it. But I am working with this spray stain Varathane, and the color is dark walnut, and it does take me a couple of coats. And at first I was a little nervous because when it went on it was really shiny, and that's not what I wanted. But after the stain really started soaking in, it became more of a matte finish. It was really beautiful. This is an oil-based stain, so I do have to let this dry for a few days prior to putting on a sealer. But I really thought this product was really easy to use, and I really loved the final results from it. Now I have one more pot to fill, and it is that concrete one right behind me, and it stays there all year round. And I was going to buy a plant for it, but then I remembered right here that I have a spider plant that many years ago I had a hanging spider plant out here, and then one of the babies fell and made another plant. It comes back every year. So I was like, oh, I'll just dig this up and I'll put it in the container. That'll be great. And spider plants, I actually remember them being called airplane plants by my mom by the way the little babies hang off of them. So in my mind, they're airplane plants, but they're mostly commonly known as spider plants. So I'm dug that up and I'm going to give it a try in this container, and I think it'll work lovely. Spider plants have arching green leaves, often striped with white, and produce baby spiderettes on long stems. They grow about 12 to 18 inches tall and wide and thrive in bright indirect light with well-draining soil. Easy to care for and tolerant of neglect, they're popular as houseplants and can also grow outdoors in zones 9 through 11. All right, and even though these are set up to drip, all of these containers have drip irrigation, I do want to make sure that I go ahead and water them in very well. All right, I hope you all have enjoyed today's process. The front is really coming along and I'm excited to get to work on more stuff on my front porch, and you will see that throughout videos coming out in the next couple of weeks. All right, you all, as always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.